Hello students, in last lecture we studied some topics of basic concepts of chemistry. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss the next chapter, which is atomic structure. According to Dalton's theory, atom is the smallest particle of any substance. So what is the structure of this smallest particle that we are going to discuss here? In this lecture, we will discuss some of the topics. Let us have a look. The first topic which we will discuss here will be the nature of radiation. Radiation. Second topic, different atomic models, in which we will study Bohr's atomic model. And third topic will be quantum model of atom. We will discuss the topics in the same sequence. So first, starting with the dual nature of radiation. Radiation, it means form of energy. We are surrounded by different forms of energy. So what is the nature of energy? It means what is the nature of light energy, because light is a form of radiation. First of all, Newton described light as a stream of particle. So particle nature of light was proposed by Newton, and reflection, refraction like phenomena was explained by him. Second milestone was wave nature. Huygens proposed the wave nature of radiation. And considering the wave nature, he explained the phenomena of diffraction and interference. But milestone comes with the knowledge of electromagnetic wave theory, which was proposed by James Clerk Maxwell. So first important theory is electromagnetic wave theory. Electromagnetic wave theory is based on some assumptions called postulates. According to this theory, energy is emitted or absorbed continuously in the form of wave. So this theory believes in continuous emission, continuous absorption of energy in the form of wave. Second postulate, these waves are associated with electric and magnetic field. Magnetic field perpendicular to each other. Which is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. propagation of waves. It means light wave or any form of energy which travels in the form of wave is associated with electric field and magnetic field perpendicular to each other. Suppose this is the direction of propagation of light wave, then perpendicular to this, it means at 90-degree angle, this electric field will be associated, and another perpendicular direction, the magnetic field will be associated. So, since these waves are associated with electric and magnetic field, they are known as electromagnetic waves. Next postulate, all electromagnetic waves travel with the speed of light. All electromagnetic waves have same speed, and that is the speed of light. Speed of light is 3.0 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. It means speed of any radiation, whether it is X-rays, gamma rays, infrared, ultraviolet, it should be taken as 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. Fourth postulate, electromagnetic waves do not require any medium for their propagation. Electromagnetic waves can easily pass through vacuum. So, medium is not required for the propagation of such waves. It means they are different from the sound waves. Last postulate, energy of electromagnetic wave does not depend upon its wavelength. However, it depends upon intensity. So, energy of different type of radiation will depend upon the intensity of radiation. It does not depend upon its frequency or its wavelength. There are some parameters which are used to describe an electromagnetic wave. Characteristics of electromagnetic wave. The first term is wavelength. The symbol of wavelength is lambda. And suppose this is electromagnetic wave, then wavelength is the distance between two adjacent crust or two adjacent trough. Wavelength can be expressed in angstrom, it can be expressed in nanometer, it can be expressed in picometer. But remember, the SI unit of wavelength is always per meter. The next characteristic is frequency. Frequency is represented by nu, and it is defined as number of waves passing through a point per second or number of cycles passing through a point per second. The standard unit of frequency is hertz, or it may be expressed as cycles per second. The next parameter is velocity or speed. The symbol of speed of radiation is c, And as we know, all electromagnetic waves travel with the same speed. That should be taken as 3.0 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. Now these three parameters are interrelated. Speed of any radiation is product of its frequency and wavelength. So in this expression, since speed is constant, it means product of frequency and wavelength is constant. If one of the information is given in the question, suppose if frequency is given in the question, we know the value of speed. So using the relationship, we can calculate the wavelength of radiation. The next parameter is amplitude. It is represented by A. Amplitude, it means height of the crest or depth of the trough. That is called amplitude. Now the important point is amplitude has no significance. Amplitude has no significance. But a square of amplitude, that is A square, gives the intensity of radiation. Intensity of radiation. So intensity depends upon amplitude. As such, A has no significance, but a square of A will give the intensity of radiation. The last parameter is wave number. Wave number is represented by nu bar, and wave number is reciprocal of wavelength. So using this relationship, we can convert wave number to wavelength, and wavelength can be converted to frequency using this relationship. On the basis of these parameters, the different types of radiations in nature were identified and then arranged in increasing order of frequency. That arrangement is known as electromagnetic spectrum. So on the basis of increasing order of frequency, different types of radiations are arranged. And look at the arrangement. The minimum frequency is observed for radio waves. Radio waves are used in the radar signal. Radio waves are used in FM. The next one is microwaves. Microwaves are used in microwave oven. The frequency of microwave is slightly more than radio waves. The next type of radiation is infrared radiation. And next one is visible. Visible is that form of energy, that form of light which is visible to us. Then comes ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet radiation is present in the sunlight along with the visible radiation. And ultraviolet light can also be created in laboratory by passing ordinary light to mercury vapor lamp. Next is X-rays. X-rays are produced when cathode rays strike on hard metal. And X-rays are used for the determination of internal structure of any solid. Then comes gamma rays. Gamma rays are produced from nuclear disintegration. Some of the materials, some of the elements are radioactive in nature. Their nuclei decay by emission of alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays. So maximum frequency is for gamma rays and minimum frequency is for radio waves. Now if we are talking about the visible radiation, it means that form of radiation which is visible to us. So this visible radiation is associated with different color. The violet color is having maximum frequency. Then indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So out of 7 colors, the maximum frequency is observed for violet color and minimum frequency is observed for red color. So electromagnetic spectrum, it means different forms of energy around us arranged in increasing order of frequency. Electromagnetic wave theory was a very successful theory. On the basis of this theory, we come to know about the different parameters of the radiation and different types of radiation present in the surrounding. But this theory failed. Limitation of electromagnetic wave theory. This theory cannot explain black body radiation. This theory also failed in the explanation of photoelectric effect. So since these two important phenomena could not be explained by electromagnetic wave theory, a new theory is proposed to understand the nature of radiation. The next theory about radiation was proposed by Max Planck, and this is known as Planck's quantum theory. Planck's quantum theory. Postulates of Planck's quantum theory. This theory believes in discontinuous emission or absorption. Discontinuous emission or absorption of energy in the form of small packets known as photons. This theory believes in discontinuous emission or absorption of energy in the form of small packets. These small packets are called quanta. In case of visible light, this smallest particle of a bundle of energy is known as photon. Second postulate, energy of photon is directly proportional. Photon is directly proportional to the frequency of light. Energy of photon is directly proportional to the frequency of light, that is frequency of radiation. So energy is directly proportional to nu, or this E is equal to h nu, where h is a proportionality constant and this proportionality constant is known as Planck's constant. The numeral value of Planck's constant is 6.6 into 10 raised to power minus 34 joules second. Third postulate, total energy absorbed or emitted will be integral multiple of h nu. total energy absorbed or total energy emitted will depend upon total number of photons absorbed by the system. So this total energy is equal to NH nu, where H nu is the energy of single photon. So if any system is absorbing 10 photon, the total energy acquired by it will be equal to 10 into energy of single photon. Now see the important observation or important points of the Planck's quantum theory. In the second postulate, it is mentioned that energy of photon is directly proportional to frequency. Now E, that is energy of photon, it means bundle, it means we are considering the particle nature of photon, and it is mentioned that the energy depends upon frequency. So energy of particle depends upon frequency, where frequency is the characteristic of wave nature. It means in the same equation, the particle nature as well as wave nature of radiation is considered. So by this expression, dual nature of light was explained. Dual nature of light was proposed. Third postulate, total energy depends upon total number of photon absorbed. So total energy can be calculated using this expression. In competitive exams, some small questions, numericals are asked based on this relationship. See some example. First question, find the ratio of energies of two photons having wavelength 200 nanometer and 400 nanometer. Now see, in this question we have to compare energy of two photons. Now we can directly apply the formula. Energy of photon is directly proportional to frequency, or energy of photon is equal to hc by lambda. Frequency and wavelength are inversely related. So in this question, wavelength is mentioned. H is Planck's constant, c is the speed of light. That two term will always remain constant. So if we have to compare energy of two photon, we will write the expression as E1, E2. This is equal to lambda 2 by lambda 1. Since energy is inversely related to the wavelength of radiation. In this question, it is mentioned that first photon is having wavelength 200 nanometer and second photon is having wavelength 400 nanometer. So we can put the value of wavelength in the expression and simply find the ratio, that will be equal to 2:1. Sometimes questions are based on the simple calculation of energy of a photon, in which frequency or wavelength will be given in the question. Using this Planck's quantum theory, Einstein successfully explained the photoelectric effect, and later on black body radiation was also explained. When this photoelectric effect was explained, then dual nature of radiation was considered, or dual nature of radiation was accepted by everyone. So nowadays we see that light or radiation possess dual nature. Whenever it propagates, it behaves like a wave, and whenever it collides with matter, it is like a particle. So explanation of photoelectric effect is based on particle nature of radiation, and propagation of light is based on wave nature of radiation. So dual nature of radiation is now well accepted theory.